How's it going, laser bruises up? I'll be Sixkilla and welcome back to Birth Me Code. Now, we have unlocked a new lock doodacky here, which means we have to hack Tristidia, I believe, here. So we're going to hack Tristidia and then hopefully that'll bring us through to here. I guess that, hang on, I'll just make a few changes to our, to boost our trust with Tristidia. Alright, now we should be able to jump in and head to this ending here once we solve this puzzle, which will probably take me 20 minutes. Alright, here we go. Hacking Tristidia. Now we just need to solve this puzzle, whatever it is. We're getting there. We are getting there, I think. I don't know, every time I think we're getting there, lots of new paths open up. Alphabetical order. Key, P equals 0, S equals 22. I don't know what that means. P equals 0, S equals 22. P is on the first row while S is on the second. What do you think is meant by key? I don't know. Oh my god, here we go again. Alright, I'll have a think and I'll bring you back as usual. Okay. So from what I can see, if P is 0 and S is 22, I still understand. Oh, it's the keyboard layout. P is underneath the 0 on row 1. So I guess that makes it 0, whereas S is on the 2 on row 2. So is that 2 for row 2 and then letter 2? Is that what that is? Hang on, let's have a look. So 5, if that's how it is, then 5 would be T. And 44 would be like F. This is going to take a while. And 77 would be J. And 3 would be E. 7 would be U. We already got 22. 55 would be G. 11 would be A. 9 would be O. 1 would be Q. And 6 would be Y. And it has to be in alphabetical order, which is 5. And then U. And then Y. Go. Haha. That only took 8 minutes. Still probably too long, but yeah. It's fine. It's whatever. It's whatever. Alright, now what's going to happen? How many more paths can there possibly be? That's the question. I hate to think. You don't understand. You killed someone just now, and we didn't have any idea of their crime or whatever they had to do with this place. I remember this. We have to make sure those who die are the right ones. I see. You're talking about the murder. And who put you in charge exactly? Look, I really don't like being told what to do. I'm gonna do things my way. And if you get in it, you're out too. Is that a threat? What would it change if it was? I can already tell you want to take control of this game. I'm not gonna stand for it, that's for sure. If you think you can lord over me, you can go right to hell. I just want to keep the playing field leveled. And besides, you think this is a game? I already kept the playing field leveled, since the bullets are of no consequence anymore, and yes, I think it is very much a game. That media told us we're playing kill me, whatever that is. You didn't level the playing field at all. It just means the only one who can shoot is you, and no one else. You're the one who likes shooting so much, Tristidia. Even if you don't have the gun, you already showed you can just take it anyway. And aggravated Superbia gave him the old talk to the hand gesture. I don't care, so keep your observation to yourself. See you around. Or not. Just like that, she left him, walking away with no intention to come back and speak to him again. Tristidia was left alone. At least, that's what he believed until he spied Nvidia, not too far away. She's a real buttload, isn't she? Oh, ugh. You heard all of this? Ugh, buttload. Yes. More or less, at least. Enough to give me a good idea of what happened. Nvidia rests his back against the nearby metal plate. They weren't next to the voting consoles, but close enough to the stairs that they'd see anyone coming by. If Superbia came back from the consoles, they'd see her for sure. What should we do? I don't like this situation. You and me both. At least it makes our targets for the vote all that much easier. You think we should vote for her? Yeah. At this point, it's pretty much inevitable. And did you see how Era acts around her? What do you mean? I didn't notice anything. I thought you were more observant than that. He's acting like a little puppy. While he feigns opposing her, he always does what she wants him to do. It's like he's her slave or something. He's gonna vote for whatever she votes, huh? The two of them remained silent for a few seconds. It could easily turn into a tie, and I don't like that. I need to make sure all four of us are on the same page. You go check for Ava, and I'll go check for Cora. Heh. Maybe you are trying to sway the group your way, like she said. You do not really trust what she's saying, do you? Tristidia's hands ball up into fists. He was growing a little more peeved the longer this conversation was going on. Just keeping a level-headed stance on it. As far as I know, anything could happen, so I'm not ignoring any possibility. That's fine, but we still need to make sure that the others are aware. If we get into a tie, there's no saying what might happen. Maybe I'll pick a random, or maybe two will die. I don't think we can afford this much death yet. Yeah, I know. Let's split up anyway. I also have some unfinished business in Wing A, so I'll head there. The two of them split with Nvidia heading off into the first hallway, while Tristidia went toward the wing proper. It wasn't clear where he was going just yet, but after he turned the corner, it became more apparent he was wandering toward where Ancora had gone to. It's probably safer to cut the connection, so that I can be there when Tristidia eventually comes by. It's especially bad because I haven't seen Avaricia in Era too. Just like before, the connection to Tristidia helmet was cut off to bring back Ancora's view of the hallway. However, Ancora's helmet no longer displayed anything this time, as if something had happened to knock it offline. There was no sounds or any visuals to be heard or seen respectively, while it should have been showing everything from her helmet's point of view, once more. Something's wrong. So Tristidia didn't do it. And Superbia didn't do it. And Era didn't do it. So who did it? This can only happen if someone forcibly knocks it offline. That means someone bashed the helmet and caused the resonance effect strongly enough. Why did I not feel any of it? So then, does this mean Avaricia or Era did something? Alright, here we go. We're up to the vote. Everything else was the same as every other time we've been through this area, so let's do it. All cards were swiped, all helmets were affixed. At that moment, no one could move anymore. It was at that moment that Ancora realized the gun was missing from her boot. When did that happen? She hadn't felt it for a while, but she hadn't focused on it before, having far more important matters to think about. Now that she realized that fact though, this matter felt much more important. Unfortunately, now she was locked in, and there was very little time to think about all this. Guys, before we vote, I wanted to say, someone has the gun. It's you, isn't it? You took it, so it's safe. No, someone took it from me. It must have been when someone also knocked me unconscious. But I don't know who it was. The only person who can make use of the gun is Superbia. She's got it then. No, I don't. In fact, I don't have the bullets either. Someone took them from me too. No lies? No lies. If I had the damn gun, I'd tell you all to vote for someone right now. Who's got the gun? Who could take it from Cora? When I got to her, she was passed out. Makes you a prime target then. When I got there, someone had already knocked her unconscious. Listen to what I'm saying. Could have been you. I don't think anyone can prove otherwise, especially not yourself. What's your alibi, dude? Cora, seen him do it? No, I only caught part of the helmet. I was in the corner and then a sound surprised me from behind. Then I was whacked. Must have been one of the boys. Ha, that's a little bit early to say, don't you think? The only girl still alive couldn't have done it. And it's definitely not Cora anyway, because the gun is missing, which means someone took it. Okay, so we have to figure out what's going on. The gun is missing. The bullets are missing. The person who took all of those is not Superbia. Who is it then? What's everyone's alibi? Does it matter if we're going to vote for Superbia anyway? Yes, because who has the gun and the bullets is the most dangerous person here. I was here the whole time. And need I remind you, someone else clonked me? I wouldn't lose those fucking bullets like a moron, she huffed aloud, clearly outraged at the fact that she had to admit someone outmaneuvered her. I didn't see anyone pass me by except Trist. Era was with me too, which really just leaves Trist and Viddy, but I didn't see Viddy either. Right, I was in the other hallway the whole time after I spoke with him. Which means it has to be Trist. What about Era? Ah? You want to say something about me? I was with Ava. You did come from where Ancora was before that point. Oh, I just checked up on her. Why? No real reason. Was it because you were asked you by Bea? Huh? How'd you know about us? I didn't, but you're not that hard to trick. Avarita is crafty. Ah, fuck. Well, whatever. Yeah, Bea asked me to keep an eye on you. So you took the gun and gave it to her. I fucking told you I don't have the bullets anymore. Listen, it can't be him because it also has to be someone who clonked me too. He couldn't do it since he was with you, and he didn't leave you until you all came up here, after I got knocked out. Bea is entirely correct. Something didn't add up completely. Eventually Ancora realized that they were missing something vital. Something that proved who it was. Before I was punched unconscious, I heard a small noise. It was a little faint, but it sounded like metal moving. Like a badly lubricated hinge. The group only had about 2 minutes left before the timer ran out, but the silence grew over the next 10 seconds or so. Everyone was thinking about what it meant. I think it was a door. If there was a panel in those plates that could be moved, that we missed this whole time. You guys saw the peculiar shape of that metallic plate wall. Maybe it's basically just telling us that one tile could be moved. Then Viddy could have taken the gun and the bullets after that once Trist left. You just keep nailing the deductions today, don't you, Bea? Here we go. The group heard the noise of a gun's safety coming off. The revolver was pointed straight at Superbia, and Viddy was holding it. If you don't want to die, you'll tell Era to vote for Trist, and then you'll all vote for Trist too. If you don't vote for Trist, I'll be emptying this gun's chamber in all of your helmets. What? Why? You'll die too, you know. Ancora couldn't speak from the shock of the reveal. Was this what betrayal felt like? Completion's sake. Completion? Right, that makes a whole lot of sense. She clicked her tongue. Only 10 seconds remained. We have no choice anyway. Do as he says or he'll kill you. He's not hesitating or trembling. I don't think this is a bluff. No, he knows something that the rest of us don't know. By miles. Ancora hesitated. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Then she voted in the span of time it took to go from 3 to 2, as did everyone else. The screens above the voting console settled on Tristidia's symbol. It was clear what was to follow. It was his execution. Every shotgun but the victims released their hold, leaving the participant to witness the macabre outcome. Kablam! Pa-pa-pa-pow! It took only a moment for the gunshot to come. It sounded like it had shot Tristidia at point-blank range, but in reality, there were no bullet holes in the helmet he wore. Time slowed down. Eventually, everything froze. This is an interesting one. There you are. It's impolite to talk without introducing yourself first. Very well then. Many know me as Pandora. Unfortunately, I can't introduce myself. I don't really know who I am, you see. Well then it's a bit rude to ask us to introduce ourselves. You are also dead. That is also possible. A little scary. Being dead doesn't seem that bad though. You'll say that you were dead for a long time before being born. Something like that. I'd still like to know my name though. Why? I don't know. I guess it's a human thing to want a label? It is. Having a name gives you some identity. So you wouldn't be yourself if you didn't have a name? Makes sense, doesn't it? A name isn't what you are, it's really just a label. Like any other word, in fact. Did you know some people are named after words? Like Rose. Yeah, like Rose. Their name's a word too. Does that make them into the thing that they're named after? I see what you mean. My name's not Rose, is it? No, that would be a little strange. Your name is... Etienne? Etienne? I'm gonna say Etienne. That's a little bland. Couldn't have been like... Sigma? Nice. Sigma's a cool name. It is. I'm not the one who gave you that name. I'm just here because you connected to me. Connected? How so? To put it simply, you and I are connected on a spiritual level. Depending on your definition of spiritual, at least. But either way, trust bound us together. So we trusted each other. No, not exactly. Time is short though, so I'll skip over that. I wanted to tell you how you were in life too. I'll just have to take your word for it. Indeed, in life you were a wreck. You tortured kids. You were a victim of bullying who only wanted to do what was right. Unfortunately, your obsession with taking control is a little overwhelming. But if you have control, you can make peace. If you eliminate all the bad, it's not so easy, and besides, you'd only be pushing your own agenda. Even if you're doing it in the name of peace. It's really just your idea of peace, isn't it? Ideologies, I see. Seeing as I died, that means I failed. Not exactly. Maybe someone else will carry them. That's the fun thing about death. It doesn't matter anymore. You're thinking that it's kind of sad, aren't you? Yeah, how'd you know? When you talk, when you think, when I talk, when I think, we're still connected. What's going to happen now? You're going to shut down, permanently. And I guess I'm going to carry your memory. I don't believe in the afterlife, so dust to dust, ashes to ashes. You've surrendered your right to live. I'll now carry your memory. Thanks, I guess. Ancora stood there as Tristidia's body was on the ground. The situation was familiar. For some reason, she felt like she already had seen something like this before. It was probably because of Luxuria's death from earlier. There it goes. Without looking at the others, after the explosion had engulfed Tristidia's head properly, she put distance between herself and the rest of the survivors. Notably, there was a good reason to split up, as Nvidia had the gun, and could shoot anyone at any moment's notice. He had seemed stable so far, but now she was not so sure. The best would have been if the gun could have been kept, but at this rate, things will fall apart. Cora, where are you going? A voice called for her, but she didn't answer it. Instead, she walked down the staircase leading to the rest of the crossroads, and Wing A. Surprisingly, Nvidia didn't call for her to stop or anything. It was as though he did not care if the others left. Yeah, he's not unstable. In fact, that was what makes him scarier. The group naturally split up even further. Ancora watched from afar as Era and Superbia remained behind, but Avaricious split from them too. Nvidia sat in the staircase after a few seconds. He was looking at his revolver. Avaricia joined Ancora before long. She noticed that the girl, while walking away from the crossroads, and stopped in her tracks. Cora, you okay? Ancora could see Superbia had grabbed something off Tristidia's body. It was a key. He'd gotten it from a deduction room before, most likely. Yeah, I just didn't expect him to have the revolver. There's a secret door in the back of that wall of metallic plates. Right in here, huh? I'd offer to go see where it leads, but no real point in exploring it while there's danger afloat. Instead, the bear wearer watched the scene unfold, unsure of what Nvidia was doing. He opened the revolver and counted the bullets inside, maybe. Whatever it was, he eventually slid the revolver behind the target plate of his chest to keep it safe. Era and Superbia were content not joining them yet, remaining behind with the voting booth. Instead, Nvidia stood up to approach the two girls. Stay back. Don't move closer, traitor. Traitor? Could it be him? What does Avaricia know of it anyway? But it was much more likely Avaricia mentioned him as a traitor to the group, and not a traitor that needs removal. Nvidia hadn't seemed fazed by the words, walking towards them more. Just run. Ancora spoke in a whisper. Avaricia nodded in acknowledgement, and the two of them sprinted away from the crossroads. Instead of going through the dead-end hallway, they ran further into the wing itself. They could open the new section now, but there was a puzzle to solve, and the situation wasn't stable enough for Ancora to do it. She cast a glance toward Everetia. The older woman was holding up her own youthful athleticism. Running with heels wasn't easy though, and eventually she fell down. Oof! Ancora stopped running around the intersection, making a step toward Everetia instead to help her. The older woman had apparently hurt her leg. However, the teacher waved her away. Keep going. He's gonna get me anyway. It's my fault for wearing these damn things. But I can defend myself. Go. Ancora felt like the woman was more like a teacher than a friend at this point in time. She was putting her students before herself. She didn't know where she could run to, but if she hid, perhaps Nvidia wouldn't find her. Without taking a look back, Ancora ran away from the scene, heading towards the corner with the staircase. That was where she'd gone before. If she could just find the panel, then it's possible to get him from behind and save Everetia anyway. Looking at the wall, she wasn't sure which one she should try. When she was examining the corner, the sound she heard came from the left. She was facing away, which meant the secret door is somewhere on the right. Looking at the last column, she saw the beams did that strange bend. It was clearly that one. She pushed it and crawled through, almost ripping her sweater dress in the process. She came out of the first hallway momentarily. Era and Superbia had left the crossroads. That was Ancora's only thought about them, since she didn't see either of them when she glanced up the stairs. I might have gone after Nvidia too. The wild goose chase is starting to annoy me. As silently as possible, she crept around the corner to look at the situation in Wing A. Nvidia and Everetia were together, and there was still no sign of Era or Superbia. It seemed as though the teacher and the boy were talking together. Ancora stepped forward with the intent to get the jump on Nvidia. He noticed, turning over to look at her. Perhaps 10 meters separated them? Ancora could clear that in a few seconds. But she never needed to try, because Nvidia almost immediately took off in a sprint, away from Everetia and Ancora. The former stood, glancing over to Ancora before she casually approached her, a far cry from the earlier urgency. It's fine, it's okay. He explained his reasoning. Far from relieved, Ancora also walked forward toward Everetia to get some answers. I'd like him to tell me face to face then. Why did he run? I don't know. That's actually worrying. He couldn't have gone far, so we should catch up. She pointed toward the rest of the hallway. Ancora snapped her fingers. Let's get him in a pincer. Go through this hall and I'll head through the secret door. Good idea. Everetia nodded, agreeing to the plan. Then they split up, with Ancora heading back through the first hallway. She noticed Nvidia on the other side of the secret door, which she'd left open. There was no time to lose. She closed in on the metallic wall, only to hear a loud gunshot. Ancora had reflexively recoiled, but she wasn't the one that was shot. Her arms couldn't cover her entire helmet, so when she opened her eyes next, she saw the aftermath through the hole in the wall. Did he shoot Everetia? Or did he shoot himself? The following explosion made it clear Nvidia had committed suicide. The gun fell to the ground, and his body followed, vanishing into a cloud of dust and smoke. As Ancora watched the aftermath of the suicide, she suddenly found her vision closing in against the metallic wall. What the? Someone shoved her from behind, and then she entered a collision with the wall itself. With a loud bang, Ancora fell to the ground unconscious, dropping like a rock. Hey, do you know what deja vu is? The voice was familiar. Ancora had heard it a lot these past hours. She could hear it, but she couldn't see whoever it was attached to. The teacher asked a question, so Ancora answered, No. Deja vu is when you experience a moment that feels familiar but hasn't happened. Some people believe it to be precognition, but they're wrong. It's generally believed to be an anomaly in your memories. What does it have to do with now? Ancora was still unable to see. She could talk with Everetia, but she couldn't see her or her surroundings. When she tried to move, she also could not. Some people believe that deja vu is when you experience a similar moment to one from a previous life. Such as, if you're near a pond and experience deja vu, it's possible you've seen a pond before when you were in Egyptian. Maybe it was an oasis. Others believe they're instead visions of other possible futures playing out concurrently to your current one. You know how there's a belief time is like a tree? Every choice makes a new branch come out of it? It's like if you had the vision from another branch. Nobody really knows though. And yet, despite that, this phenomenon keeps happening a lot. That's really what Nvidia told me about earlier, that he experienced deja vu, one so strong that he wanted to move away from it no matter what. Then he committed suicide. What about the revolver? Finally, Ancora's vision came back to her. The helmet took a while to get the cameras back, online. I could see again. About time. Avaricia was standing near her. Feeling at a disadvantage, Ancora slowly pulled herself back up to her feet. One of her hands grabbed against the wall for support, even after she was standing anew. Her other hand lashed onto her helmet, since an overwhelming headache was breaking her in two, metaphorically speaking. I don't have it. When I got to him, the gun was already gone. Bia or Ira must have gotten hold of it. Ding ding, we have a fucking winner over here. The cheerleader stood at the other end of the hallway, with Ira in tow. She was carrying the gun, which was pointed in the direction of the two other girls. They could slip out through the hole in the back, but due to the firearms threat, doing that wasn't a good idea. We're the last survivors. Everyone else is dead. Unfortunately, we need 6 deaths and we've only got 5 so far, so we'll be playing a little game. She cackled as though this really was just a funny game to her. At least one bullet was used from that revolver. Let's say we're unlucky and at least one is not here anymore. That means there might be a way to get her to waste 5 shots. Not sure how I'd pull that off, but it's something to keep in mind. You're insane if you think that. Just shoot us and be done with it? Either way, you're as dead as we are, so it doesn't really matter. Hey, don't goad her on. I don't especially want to be shot. I don't think so. See, I want to know what's going on here. We are not the mastermind, that's for sure. It's got to be either of you, but who, I wonder? Is it the older one, who's a teacher, and whose position would put her in control of the school? She aimed the gun toward the teacher. There wasn't even a shiver coursing through either girl. Or is it the little bitch who's been a constant pain in the ass ever since she woke up? If you'd known this would happen now, Cora, you wouldn't have nagged me so much until now, huh? Eating shit now, are we? I would have done the same anyway because you're insane and despicable, Bear. And beside, the one you're looking for might already be dead. The bunny girl's other hand turned into a fist for a moment. She looked even more aggravated than before. Fine then, no fucking game for either of you. Instead, you're gonna out yourselves. If you're the mastermind behind all this, and then we'll move on. Or I'll kill the two of you. Ira was watching from the sidelines, unsure of what he should do. He remained there like a bodyguard, just in case anything happened. Actually, I have a question, and it might be of vital importance. Is it really fucking important? Yes. It might help us determine who the mastermind is. Superbia was thinking. She was probably wondering the exact thing everyone else was. If Avaritia was the mastermind, why would she ask that? Is she trying to give me away? What is the year of your birth? Eh? It's... She paused, unsure of what exactly she was going to answer. As the seconds passed by, she still failed to provide an answer. After a few moments, she groaned in annoyance. One number comes to mind, but it's impossible. It's 2014. That's correct. You were born in 2014. The exact date was November 19th, 2014. You were put alongside the others in alphabetical order. Do you understand? Avaritia was weighing her words. It feels like she's not talking to Superbia anymore. Is she talking to me? Alphabetical order. That's the order to put them in. The directives should be engraved now. And the way to the deja vu is open. Superbia gave another groan full of rage, unable to understand what Avaritia was telling her. While the teacher was talking, Superbia was taking steps forward, taking advantage of her focus on conveying a message. You're a raving lunatic. I'll kill you. Before the rabbit could shoot her, the pig leapt onto her and tackled her down. She tried to grab the gun, but she couldn't. A stray shot fired near Ira, and he decided to get himself mixed into it. That's 2 bullets gone. Maybe Avaricia had the same idea that I had. As the 3 of them fought over the revolver, Ancora decided to hightail it out of there. Oh, he could help. Turning around, she stepped through the opening in the plates. She even might get the gun. Let's just hope for that. Ancora suddenly locked up for a moment, shuddering all over. Instead of running away, she watched in shock. The gunshot rang out again, and from her position, Ancora could see it hit Era, who fell over. The bullet had gotten him in the helmet. Well, there you go. There's only 3 left, that's all we needed. Another explosion signaled someone had surrendered their right to live. This time it was him, thankfully for Ancora and Avaritia. Fucking bitch. Fuck, 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 you're dead. You die, everyone dies. She kicked Avaritia off her, rolling over to stand back up. Her outfit was slightly dusty, but she didn't care. Instead, she let out a blood-curdling scream and executed the teacher with the 4th bullet. Upon witnessing the scene, Ancora regained her composure and hid behind the plates, closing the opening. She waited for her to approach it, to go through it, laying out a trap for the rabbit. But wait, what if she comes from the other side? Then isn't it the same as being stuck in a corner? Yet Ancora didn't budge. She waited there, both scared and tense. If Superbia's head poked out through the opening, she could use the plate and... Nothing ever really works out the way one thinks, and this was no exception. Superbia didn't pursue Ancora through the secret door. Instead, she appeared around the corner, far ahead. Fudge nuggets. Quick, jump through the hole! But Ancora had closed it up, thinking she could use it to smash it against Superbia's helmet when the rabbit would have come through the entrance. Die, bitch. A shot lodged itself into her leg, causing her to wince and scream. Only 1 more bullet remained. Ancora finally managed to pull the hole open, to slide through, and limp forward, walking as fast as she could to try and set an ambush somewhere else. Unfortunately for her, Superbia wasn't limping. She pulled herself through the opening, and aimed for the final shot to spell Ancora's doom. Naturally, she hit her mark. The girl fell down, panting in agony. Life was running out. It's inevitable when things get that chaotic. This body isn't trained enough to handle fighting like that. At least Superbia is going down too, since when the timer runs out, it's over for her. We're at a dead end again. Again? Yes, again. This isn't the first time, is it? But why? It feels like I lost track of what I had to do. What I had to find. What I had to figure out. Deja vu, is it? The traitor, right? Who was the traitor? Why do I care so much about the traitor? Is there even a traitor? Or is it a goal meant to make me keep going over and over? Why was this whole operation set up in the first place? I don't remember putting together the room we'd just gone through. In fact, now that I think about it clearly, I don't remember setting up any of the rooms. They're familiar, but I thought I did it, and now I think I didn't do any of this. I just remember the helmets, and the fact that someone else helped me program them. Who was it again? It was a guy, I know that much. Was it Tristidia? Was it Invidia? It can't be Era, can it? Not really. It was the guy that helped me program all of this, and set up the entire operation. I'm this close to figuring it out. I just need a little more time. But I'm not so delusional. I know soon there won't be any more time for me. I can't get answers this time around. They're all dead, and soon I will be too. And then she was dead. Oh, we are getting there. We are getting there. That's intense. I still have no idea who the traitor is. Well, I mean, every person here is an absolute psycho. Just about. Well, not Avaricia. Well, not yet. But everyone else. Alright, we're going to wrap this one up here, obviously, because we're out of time for today. But in the next one, we will jump in and pick a new path, which I'm sure will be unlocked for the next one. Till then, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.